Kris Reid. Don't just have a website, be found. Subtitled The Business Growth Expert. This is episode 85 on Kelly Bagla's Go Legal Yourself podcast.
Welcome to the Go Legal Yourself podcast. This show is about knowing the legal life cycle of your business. Welcome to the Go Legal Yourself podcast. I'm your host, Attorney Kelly Bagla, the Queen of Business Law. Today, I have the pleasure of interviewing Kris Reid, the CEO of Ardor SEO, also known as the Business Growth Expert. Welcome to the show, Kris.
Kelly, it's awesome in this time that we live, where I can be on the other side of the world in a whole day ahead of you. It's Friday morning here, Thursday night there, and what a great time to be alive, that we can live where we want to live and have businesses online, making money while we sleep. It's
pretty incredible, absolutely, Kris. And obviously, like myself, you have a very funny accent, but people love accents here in the US.
Well, funny accent. My mum sounds like this. What are you talking about?
Okay, let's leave mums out of it, shall we? I absolutely love your background. I love your personality. It just comes through in everything that you've done. And yes, I've done a bit of homework on you, Kris, but do you have a joke you can share with us? It can be a joke based on attorneys or lawyers, or just a funny joke that you enjoy.
One that like I like to use with my kids is like, how do you get Pikachu on the bus? Pokemon. That's a good old dad joke there for you.
Well, there you go. How cute is that? My favorite joke is, where does Napoleon keep his armies?
Where does Napoleon keep his armies?
Up his sleeves. That's another kid joke, right? Obviously, I've heard that from my nieces when they were growing up. I've always loved that one. It's pretty funny. So, Kris, the title of this show is Don't Just Have a Website, Be Found. And that is exactly what you do for business owners. This show is about entrepreneurship. It's about promoting entrepreneurs and helping entrepreneurs, sort of avoid the very costly mistakes that every entrepreneur makes. It could be in any industry, right? So from a legal standpoint, I've always, and this is what I do on the show, I send out some tidbits. I talk about, I have sidebars, and I talk about some of the legal pitfalls that entrepreneurs should look out for. But I particularly love what you do because, again, in marketing, right, we are so inundated with products and services. And if I'm looking for someone and I know I want to buy your product, how do I find you, Kris? Tell me about yourself.
Yeah, well, Kelly, that's really important, right? Most businesses fail. Entrepreneurs are crazy. Most people don't go into business because they know how damn hard it is and how damn scary it is, and they're smarter than entrepreneurs. But we jump in and we do it anyway. And the majority of businesses fail. And, they don't fail because they have crappy products or services, and they certainly don't fail because entrepreneurs aren't working hard enough. They fail because they can't get enough customers. And that's what we do, is get your message in front of your ideal customer and help you to predictably grow your business. That is the power of SEO and, any digital marketing. Most people figure they need to have a website. And, you don't. If you're not going to promote it, what the hell's the point? Just build a Facebook page. It's free and takes 2 minutes, and it's just as good because no one's going to find that either. If people aren't getting to your website and it's not converting your clients, what the hell did you build it for? People come to us all the time that have gone to some web design company, spent 20 grand on a website, and it generates them no business. Web designers, in my mind, they steal people's money because they don't know themselves what the purpose of a website is. It's not to look pretty. It's not to tell the world how glamorous you are. It's to generate your business, and it should be able to do that predictably. If you're talking to a web designer, you go, how much business you getting through your website, dude? Probably none. And so it's like, why are you talking to that person? He doesn't know how to do marketing. So like building yourself a plan, man, like that's what a website can do, is give you predictable revenue. And I tell you, I'm not the best businessman in the world. Like, I've screwed up so much stuff. Like, I had a HR steal like 30 grand one time. Like, you name a business mistake and I've made it. But Larry Page,
perfect for this show, Kris.
Larry Page, for the co-founder of Google, he said revenue cures all problems, and it certainly does. Like, when you got revenue coming in and you're growing, it takes the stress out of business. Like I've been where, like, you're struggling to make payroll. It's like, man, if we close this deal and we get that money, maybe I'll just have enough money to like not go broke this month. And it's like, that sucks. Like, it's a job that you can't escape from, because you can't take a holiday. You're stressed out of your mind. You don't sleep properly. It's not nice. And, I was there because we didn't have consistent growth. When you have consistent growth, man, all those problems go away, and business is just a whole lot of fun, and that's the way it should be.
It is. I absolutely love what I do, Kris. Yes, I am a business attorney. Yes, I love helping entrepreneurs. But to me, it doesn't seem like a job, because, again, I love what I do. And the number one issue that entrepreneurs do face, you hit it right from the top of this interview. It's, you can't find customers, right? If there's no revenue coming in, how are you going to sustain your business? So give me an example of someone that's starting out brand new. They've got, products ready to go, and they need to share this with the world, and they come see you. What happens?
Yeah. So we help them build a plan, and like having a plan, when I started in business, I knew nothing about business, right? I'm a software engineer. Did that, worked in finance for 10 plus years, and then haphazardly fell into business with no plan and no strategy. And that's why it took years to like work out what the hell I was doing. Now I read a hell of a lot of books. So any young entrepreneurs out there listening, I'd say read a whole lot of books. 2 books that have changed my business dramatically. First one is called Profit First, How to Have a Profitable Business by Mike McCallowitz. Fabulous book. In fact, I use a Profit First accountant now that handles our books and does all their profit allocations, and it's well worth having. The second book, who's also by Mike McCallowitz, he's a fabulous author, is called Clockwork, which is on my shelf behind me, which is about how to build a business that doesn't revolve around you, so that you can go on holidays and the business goes on without you. And I just took the family to the beach for a couple of weeks. Came back and my inbox wasn't overloaded and business was just humming along without me. It's a great way to have it. And that's about how to build a plan. And that's what you need to have as any business. And that's what you should have with a digital marketing strategy. What is your plan? And so the first thing that we do with our clients is have a discussion with them about who is your perfect customer. Like, what is your ideal customer look like? How much they spend, what are the products that you want to sell, whatever it is. And then how many do you want? Like, because, you need to be able to grow predictably. Like, you can't, most businesses can't just handle an extra 1,000 customers tomorrow, right? Like, if you get 1,000, well, you need to scale up gradually. And then once you have that amount, you need to maintain it too, because now you've got all these extra staff. If you went back from 1,000 down to 10 the next day, well, how are you going to pay all your staff? And so that's what we build, is a nice, consistent strategy. And that's the beauty with digital marketing, is it's a science, right? I'm a software engineer. I studied engineering principles, and that's what we design you, is a strategy of how to go from zero to hero. And you follow this strategy and it works every single time.
So I'm going to say, is it a trade secret?
No, not really. I mean, not at all. Like, I'm a big advocate of, show people you can help them by helping them. So another thing that is in Clockwork is about what's your queen bee role. So the queen bee is the most important bee in a beehive, right? And everyone else services the queen bee to do the queen bee role. And like in our business, we make money by our analysts doing billable hours for our clients. And anytime that they're not doing that, they're not making the company money. And so that's what we focus on all the time to make sure our analysts are being as productive as possible. And it's the same as like, that's why we hire a profit first professional to do our books, because, well, she does a better job than we'd do anyway, but it's like, it allows our people to stick to what they're good at. And so it's the same as your business role. You should stick to what your business does and what you're good at, and hire someone else to do it. And you shouldn't become an expert in SEO. If you're not an SEO agent, why the hell would you like learn it? It's hard, right? Like if it was easy building a website that generates $1 million, then everyone would do it, right? And so you should stick to what you're at and hire an agency. But a big thing of what we need to do is make sure our clients understand what we're doing. We work with a lot of different clients, some that are very technical, some that have no clue. One of our favorite clients, she's an older lady, and one of the troubles working with her was getting access to her website because she didn't know how. But at one of the first calls we had, she invited one of her friends onto the call who's more technical, that helped vet that we knew what we were talking about. And now she trusts us, and we just do all the work for her, and then we'd say, here's the reports. But that's what we need to do, is educate our clients on that. We know what we're doing, and then we do the work and let them get on with their business.
Absolutely. So if anyone knows me, Kris, they know that I love dogs, right? So I'm recording the show from my office, and my associates, my dogs, are here with me. So if you hear them in the background, they're just chiming in, and it's okay. So there's so much misinformation, or let me say confusing information when it comes to digital marketing, even just marketing in general. Now, I myself, I've run into some issues with marketing, right? Someone that doesn't know about marketing, how to sell, right? how to get your products out there. How do you make it simple for someone that it makes sense, and you can they can see results from working with you?
So there was a guy, I just had to Google his name, John Wanamaker. He died in 1922, but a pretty old school marketer, and was very famous. And he said, half the money I spend on advertising is wasted. The trouble is I don't know which half. And when you talk about like traditional marketing, yeah, it is. Like you run a TV ad, or you run a Super Bowl ad. Like think about how expensive that is to produce. You don't even know how many people watched it. Like, and never mind how many people took action on it. It's so hard to measure. I mean, it certainly works. Coca-Cola, everyone on the planet knows who they are, and they advertise everywhere. In every country you go to, there's Coca-Cola ads everywhere. It works, or they wouldn't do it, and Coca-Cola wouldn't be worth what they're doing. But it's so hard to measure that. In fact, I had lunch with the CEO of Coca-Cola in Cambodia one time, and his marketing team was at his house, and I asked them all about this. And you know how they have names on Coke cans? So that was actually invented by Coke Australia. They were the first guys that thought of that. And now they implemented it in all of the different Cokes around the world. They put them in local languages and local names. And I said, well, how do you know that it's effective? And we can see an uptick in sales, and it lasts for around 3 months whilst it's interesting. And then they turn it off because it gets boring. And then they'll do it again next year. And that's about as good as they can get with their marketing. With digital marketing, you can measure everything, whether it's Facebook ads or YouTube ads or Twitter or whatever. You can measure everything. You can see this is our cost per click. This is where the people came from. This is our conversion rate. And so you can see your cost per conversion. It's fabulous. But one massive advantage of SEO over any paid advertising, as soon as you stop spending, you stop getting. It certainly works, or Facebook wouldn't be worth anything. That's where all their money comes from, right? Paid ads. And same with Google, paid ads. But SEO is compounding. It does take a little bit longer to get started, but the work that you did last month, you get this month, the next month, the next year. And how long are you in business for? Are you this quarter or forever? So it's like once you build up that reputation, you have this, website that just continually grows at an exponential rate. And man, like that, I think it was Einstein that said, that compound interest is the most powerful thing in the universe. Those that understand earn it, and those that don't pay it, something like that. He was a pretty smart fella. So that's the power of digital marketing. And I tell you, last year was pretty difficult for most businesses. We never had a better year. Like, we grew at such a rate. And in fact, it just grew faster and faster all year. Last quarter was our biggest quarter ever by a long shot over the previous quarter. And this quarter, we're already 20% up on where we were last quarter. It's a great time to be working online.
How did you get into SEO for websites and Ardor SEO? Obviously, that name means something.
It does indeed. Ardor is an adjective to mean to doing something with a fiery passion, and that's how we do SEO. So I'd like everyone at home to be using Ardor in their vocabulary now and put it in a sentence today. And always remember Ardor, fiery passion. But I worked as a software engineer for many years. Moved to London, worked in finance. Got paid a lot of money to make billionaires richer, working in hedge funds, which was great until the global financial crisis came around and destroyed my career. I'd gone from pay rise to pay rise, thinking I was like the big man around town. I was in my 20s and my ego was, couldn't fit in this room. It was massive. And then the world came and slapped me in the face and went, yeah, dude, you're not invincible. I'm like, oh, really? And I ran back to Australia with my tail between my legs and went, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? I had no idea, because there was no jobs to be had. Like, there's no way I could make the same money I was making. Like, the finance world was destroyed. And I built an online game just being a computer geek, not because I wanted to be a businessman. And I was like, well, how the heck do you get people to a website to play the damn thing? And that's when I started learning about SEO, built a bunch of backlinks to my website. It shot up in the rankings. I went, this is pretty fun. And started build a bunch of websites, ranked them. And then, eventually went, that's probably pretty valuable to other people, right? And been doing it ever since.
That's pretty incredible. You based your future, right? What you're doing right now, you based it on passion. You based it on something you liked doing. Let me break for 1 second, Kris. It's time to recognize our sponsor. Our sponsor is Bagla Law Firm. It's a trusted name in business law, providing legal solutions to entrepreneurs. So definitely check out baglalaw.com and see how they can help you start and run your business. Okay, Kris, you've said that you've traveled, obviously. You traveled for 2 years with all your worldly possessions, right, on your back. Wow. What was that experience like?
So when I lost my job in the global financial crisis, I took kind of the long way back to Australia. I didn't go direct there. Yeah, thankfully working in finance, they pay you pretty well. So I had a nice little treasure chest to get me through. I actually, I backpacked around Europe. I went right through Russia and China, and I was heading to Australia via land. I got to Hong Kong, so I went from London to Hong Kong via land, and then went, I wanted to get home for Christmas and I was running out of time. So I did the last bit by plane. Then I spent a bunch of years, traveling around and working out what I wanted to do. I was dabbling with SEO. If I could go back and slap my younger self, I'd learn faster, read books, understand business. I just didn't know how to make money. I didn't know how valuable SEO was. I didn't know how to get clients. I didn't know anything, as a software engineer, as a computer geek. I knew how to rank a website. I didn't know how is that valuable to other people? Do law firms need more clients? I don't know. It just was a foreign language to me. But reading business books, I went, our business is pretty fun. And that's really what I focus on a lot, and I understand that well, clients is really important to businesses, and that's a valuable skill that we have. So it took me a little while to learn that. I'm not the smartest guy, I guess.
Well, Kris, how do you weed out the stuff that doesn't work? Right. I'm going to mention it. Marketing is very confusing. It's very hard. And there are a lot of companies out there that just take your money and you see absolutely no results. However, you guarantee profitability.
A fabulous book. I think his name's Perry Marshall. It's called 80-20 Sales and Marketing. And a fabulous book on sales and marketing. And he has one chapter about the power of guarantees. He's like, in every transaction, someone's taking the risk. And if you can take that risk away from your clients, then they're going to be clients. And we've been doing this a long time. If you follow our strategies, it works every time. So let's guarantee our work. And as soon as we started doing that, it's like, man, sales just like, why not? Because you show how confident you are. And people are like, yeah, I want to work with you, dude. Awesome. And it gives you more control too, because it's like, you need to do what we say or the guarantee doesn't work. You need to follow our strategy. And that way you do get control of their website because they're like, cool, dude, you know what you're doing. Just do it. So anyone that doesn't guarantee what they're doing, probably don't work with them. Also anyone that has like set packages, like people are like, I know marketing agencies often will have like a small, medium, and large sort of thing. And it's like, if they try and put you into some sort of cookie cutter like plan, like that's wrong. Like we start all of our clients off with the exact same way, which is what we call a market visibility blueprint. And so it's basically, we have a discovery call to understand who your perfect client is. And then what are your goals? Where do you want to be in 12 months? Because if you want, 10 customers or 100 customers or 1,000 customers, it's going to be a different amount to implement that. Like the internet is so vast. Our little human brains cannot fathom it. It's just so big. And there's no limit to what you spend. Agoda spends over $1 billion on their website. That's a lot of freaking money, but they get a healthy return on that. And, most businesses couldn't spend $1 billion on their website because they couldn't handle the outcome. You need to grow in a scalable rate. And that's what you need to have, is a strategy to do that. Like digital marketing or SEO, it's all very predictable. And any agency should be able to design you a plan and go, this is what your conversion rate is. Like if you've already got an established website, you should know what your conversion rate is. So it's like, okay, great. This is the amount of traffic that we need to generate this many leads. And that's how many customers will pop out the other end. And that's really what we focus on too, is how many actual clients are you generating? Because, search engine rankings and traffic are cool, but they don't pay the bills. So, we know that if we don't make our clients money, then they're not going to be clients. So our first goal is always to get them making money as quickly as possible, because as soon as, it doesn't matter how much we charge, right? As long as their website's paying for that, then they're going to be a customer forever. And so that's our first goal, is make them money.
I think everyone that's listening to the show, all of my fantastic listeners out there, month after month, right? They definitely need to reach out to you, Kris. You're not someone that just talks the talk. You actually live it. You didn't go out there and say, okay, well, I'm going to go out and be an entrepreneur. I'm going to start a new business. I'm going to, be a CEO. You didn't do that. It fell into your lap. Why? Because you love what you do. All entrepreneurs have challenges when they start. I have to ask you, what was your biggest challenge when you started?
Oh, yeah. I mean, pretty much not having direction. I'd definitely say that. Like not knowing, like there's a fabulous book called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I hadn't read that.
Read, right, Kris? I mean, that's what I'm getting from you, that you really read.
I read a lot of books. I burn through them really fast. Like, it's really important. You never get and the best books I've read multiple times. 7 Habits I've read several times. Story Brand, which is a great book on marketing, I've read several times. I'm going through 10X by Grant Cardone for the third time, this third year in a row that I've started with that book. Like, he talks about like how to have the mindset to 10X your business. And it's so important. Like, everyone has negative self-talk, and like we work a lot in real estate, and we're putting on a real estate summit at the moment, which is massive. We got the presenter is the host is Tony Potts, who is he's hosting the Cannes Film Festival this year. Like, he's a hell of a host. We got really big names. We got 50,000 people attending. Like, it's really big, and it's taking a lot of my work and my effort. And so, like, my negative self-talk was like, hey, you should just like slow Ardor down, because Ardor is growing at a really great rate. Slow Ardor down so you can focus on the summit. And I'm like, well, reading 10X again, it was like, screw that, like, fuel the fire. Like, and so I just hired some other people to focus on the summit and Ardor and work them both at the same time. And it's like, catch yourself from this crap, and you can do more. Like, just put more energy into it. Right. There's no shortage of energy. And so, like, well, learning things like that, learn from others. You don't have to make all these mistakes yourself. Had I not caught myself by reading that book again, I would have slowed our business growth. So, like, any young entrepreneur, read, and read some more.
So that's one of the successful traits, or a trait that successful entrepreneurs have, right? They are always gaining knowledge. Doesn't matter whether they are waiting for an appointment. Now we don't even have to pick up a book to read. You can just download it on Audibles. Oh. Right? It's the information is at your fingertips right now. As I'm walking the dogs, I'm listening to books on my phone, right? It's incredible. As I'm getting ready for the day, I'm listening to books on my phone. And the other trait is waking up early. And I know you wake up early, but you wake up in the future though, right? You're in Australia.
Another fabulous book is called The 5 a.m. Club. And I push it on all of our Ardor team members. I'm like, hey, dudes, like, we do quarterly goals. And I saw so many of our team members, I saw all their goals. And lots of them, they're computer geeks, tend to stay up really late. And so some of them still getting up at like 8 a.m. And I see lots of goals of like getting up at 6:30 or 6 o'clock. I'm like, well, everyone's moving towards that 5 a.m. club.
There you go. This will probably shock you. My husband and I, and the dogs, we wake up at between 3 and 3:30 a.m.
Ah. That's amazing.
And I
was aiming towards like 4 a.m. and then my wife went, no, get out of here. Yeah,
I blame my husband for this because he's in construction, right? So his day starts early. And it's a fantastic time to wake up. We have breakfast together. I take the girls, my dogs, for a run. And that's when your creative juices are flowing too, right? I love that time in the morning. But like you said, it's early for you there. It's evening for me here. It's probably close to my bedtime. It's only 5:30 here.
Well, that's a big thing of what the 5 a.m. Club talks about, is like that power hour. Like, dedicate it to you, dedicate it to exercise and inspiration. Listen to a podcast, read a book, whatever. Do some journaling. Like, I got my daily stoic right there. I got my journal right here. You use your day. Don't let other people control your time. Like, Put the important stuff on the calendar and get that done first.
That's exactly what I say. Have you been stealing my stuff?
I just steal other people's stuff. Yeah, you don't have to use, don't have to come up with all these great ideas by yourself.
That's fantastic, Kris. It truly is. Another book that you have to read, right? It's not on Audibles right now. I'm so proud of myself, like I always am. I've just released my second edition to Go Legal Yourself. That's
awesome.
It's called Second Edition Go Legal Yourself. And it is about how to start, run, grow, and eventually exit your business the right way. And you're going to be so impressed when you read the growth phase in that book, because I talk about manage the growth. How do you manage the growth? And how do you stay competitive as well? So I think you're really going to enjoy that book. I would love to send you a signed copy of that book, actually.
That'd be great, Kelly. I'd much appreciate that.
Yes, of course. And is there anything else you would like to share with the audience? Because I know you do.
Indeed. I want to show people what a good website looks like and what a sales funnel looks like. So, like, as your business grows, right, you're going to get busier and busier, and you don't have time to talk to everyone. You don't have time to talk to tire kickers. And so if you go to our website, which is ardorseo.com, and we've got a special page set up. So if you go to ardorseo.com/go legal yourself, you'll see what an awesome sales funnel looks like. And do check it out. I get comments on this all the time that, man, that is awesome. So if you go to ardorseo.com/go legal yourself, you'll see a video of me talking, and I'll do a video review of your website. So I'll show you, exactly what your potential customers are searching for, in what search volume, and show you some simple things you can change yourself to get your message in front of where these people are actively looking and predictably grow your business. And you'll see exactly how we, filter people out. So we don't work with everyone. We work with, people that are outright customers. Because if you're not, then, it's not worth our time. And it's certainly not worth me speaking to people. I just don't have the time to speak to everyone. And so that's what you need for your business. As it's growing, you need a way to be able to filter people that aren't a good fit for your business, so that you're only talking to the right people that are proactively, sort you out and listen to you, and they see you as an authority. Years ago when we weren't as successful as we are, I used to have people sending appointments and missing appointments. I never have anyone miss an appointment, because when they've scheduled on my calendar, they already see me as an authority. They see that, I'm a cool person that they want to work with. They proactively sort me out. And when they're on my calendar, they make sure that they have the time available to speak to me, and they want to hear what I have to say. And so they're pretty much already sold. And so it's I just tell them what we do, and they go, great, here's my money. It's my success rate on the phone is fantastic, because we have a fabulous sales funnel that does all the heavy lifting. And that's what a fabulous website does for your business.
That's pretty incredible. Well, I'll be reaching out. This is just between you and me, Kris. Don't tell anyone, right? So I'll be reaching out to you and see how we can work together. And I know that the listeners are again, the show is about promoting entrepreneurship, right? Promoting entrepreneurs, getting them ready to really go out and conquer their little part of the world and sell their products and services. And you're absolutely right. It starts from being found. Having a $10,000 website isn't going to do you absolutely anything, because when people first start to think about, okay, I want to open my own business, what do? Right? They pay thousands of dollars for a website. They pay for marketing material, and they set up, their phone and what have you. And now they think they're ready for customers. It doesn't work like that. You absolutely need a plan. I think you need a plan for anything in life, right? If you're traveling, unless it's you and you're backpacking for 2 years. Most people, Kris, they need a plan, right? If they're traveling, they definitely need a plan if you're starting a business, and they definitely need a plan to actually get customers. And I think that plan definitely would start by them contacting you. The website is ardorseo.com, because we both have funny accents. I just want to make sure that
if they can't understand the spelling from our funny accents, just Google the coolest guy in SEO, and I tell you, if you can't.
Fantastic. There you go. But because we have funny accents, right, we're going to have all of your information as part of our show notes. And so anyone can download the app, Go Legal Yourself, from your app stores, and make sure you contact us through the app. You can contact me directly, leave us some comments. You can contact any of our fantastic guests that we've had on the show. And we continue to grow, Kris. We continue to grow. Here I am interviewing you. You're in Australia. I'm here in San Diego, California, right?
Indeed. I'm actually in Vietnam, in Saigon in Vietnam.
Are you really?
I am indeed.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
That's the beauty of the internet, right? You can live where you want to live. I love living in Vietnam. It's fabulous. And I have the freedom to be anywhere in the world.
There you go. Yes, you do. Absolutely. Because you can help anyone in the world, right? It's not just indigenous to a particular country. That's
almost 100% of our customers are in the US, and most of our staff live in Asia because, Asia's awesome.
There you go. We'll definitely have to have you back on the show, and we'll just talk travel. How's that?
Oh, that'd be great, Kelly.
Right. We'll do that, Kris. Again, thank you so much, Kris, for your time and sharing your wisdom with my fantastic listeners. And remember, the only way you become successful is if you make today the day you go legal yourself. I am attorney Kelly Bagla, the Queen of Business Law, and it's been my pleasure being your host today. Until next time, cheers to your success.
Produced by Heard Not Seen Media. Visit imaginepodcasting.com for more information.